Hi. So I forgot about so the ISO cubes for a few weeks. So instead of it being four progs, it's now six progs and one magazine. So let's have a look. Apologies for if the volume's a bit muffled. I just forgot to plug in my microphone, and even though it's only over there, I can't be bothered walking. So this is the first prog 2381. Gorgeous cover by R.M. Guerra, who did Scout, and he's doing the continuing with the Judge Dredd strip in here, and it's written by Rob Williams. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous panel layout, really nice artwork. If when this gets collected, I highly recommend. If you don't buy the weekly comic, oh my god, I look like Velma. Sorry, I just shot myself. But yeah, if when this gets collected, I do recommend you hunt it out. It's got gorgeous, gorgeous artwork, a great survival tale. Basically, this is what I love about Judge Dredd. You can basically do any kind of story, from political commentary to dark humour to survival in the wild like this. Absolutely amazing. And then we carry on with Aquila by Gordon Rennie, artwork by Patrick Goddard. Patrick Goddard did the Rogue Trooper story with Garth Ennis, which has got a lot of buzz around it. Sorry, fringe is doing my head in. Right. Oh, it's fluffy, fuck it. Right, so yeah, anyway. Can't you tell I've not rehearsed? So yeah, this is Aquila. This is the one about the Black Nubian who became a slave in Roman Empire and works his way up to being a centurion. And in this one, he's actually gone to hell. And it's just amazing artwork, really good, strong fantasy story. This is what I said before about 2000 where they can leap genres and it doesn't feel clunky. Each story is so distinct into itself. And after that, we have the continuation of Indigo Prime, which is the most far out comic strip since Doom Patrol, by Keck W on writing, Lee Carter on artwork. This really pushes the fourth wall of what you can do with science fiction stories in comics. Yeah, so this is basically all reality is colliding into each other. This reminds me very much of like Something Everywhere. Is it Something Everywhere All at Once? Whatever it is. Everywhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That film with Margaret Cho. It's very much like that. But these were doing it years and years and years ago, back in the 80s and 90s. And then we've got Brink, which is a fantastic neo-noir, sci-fi, futuristic police procedural with beautiful, beautiful artwork by N.J. Coulbard. Great solid writing by Dan Abnett. Dan Abnett's doing the best writing of his career with 2000 AD. And it's just fantastic. There's been 4 collections of this, and I do highly recommend you hunt them out if you want a good mystery thriller where it's basically just a detective story with sci-fi tropes covered on top of it. And after that, we've got another wild and weird one by Mike Carroll, fantastic gorgeous artwork by Jake Lynch, coloured by Jim Boswell. Proteus Vex. Not a human character in sight in this one. Pure out and out sci-fi. Don't ask me to explain it, you need to read it. But it's good. And I love Jake Lynch's artwork, and I used to hate his artwork, but he's really found his style now, because before he just used to be like a very pale Cam Kennedy clone, but now he's so strong, really good. So from there we move on to, oh yeah, that was the conclusion of the Judge Dredd story, because the next one, there's a new one now. And this one is really nice. It's 2382 Prague. A new story starts, Beware INT, and get a gorgeous Nick Percival double-sided cover. Really good. Again, this is what I'm saying about Juice Dredd. This is an out and out horror story now. There's this creature in the depths, and these kids go hunting for it. It's like an urban legend, but it turns out it's not an urban myth. It's real. And of course, Judge Dredd gets called to rescue the kids. Just great. That's by Ken Diamond and Nick Percival. Then we've got the continuation of Aquila, as mentioned last issue. Gorgeous artwork by Patrick Goddard. Solid writing by Gordon Rennie. Just something really fun about this story. Like I said, it's sword and sorcery kind of, or sword and sandals kind of fantasy storyline. Really good. Oh, plug for one of my episodes. If you've not watched it, go and watch my overview of that book. Just did that earlier on today. Don't know what that was about. Go on, go and watch it. No, watch this video first and then you can go watch it. Okay. The thing is, I've not been drinking. I've not had a drink since January. So I've no excuse. So Intestine Notes, Part 1. This has artwork by Pi Pa, who did Petrolhead for Image. Artwork in this is gorgeous. It's written by Ken Diamond, but honestly, this is a story I just skim read. I really don't like the story. It's about these little robots who basically go inside somebody's body. They're intestine notes. And I don't know, I just can't click with it. Artwork is beautiful. In some ways though, the artwork's too nice. I don't know if you ever get that, where you can be put off because the artwork's too perfect. That's what this feels like for me. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I'm sure a lot of you will like it. It's just not clicks with me. And then we have Brink carrying on, as I mentioned last time. I.J. Colbard, Dan Abnett. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the colours as well in this. One of my favourite modern 2000 AD strips. It's a modern classic. And like I said before, do get the volumes. Do. I was going to say I'll get demonetised, but I don't have enough viewers for that. So, and then we have, of course, Proteus Vex carrying on. Just look at that artwork. And we'll move on to the next issue now. It is just here. Just a single-sided cover by I.J. Colbard. Focus on Brink. Really like that cover. Simple, but very, very stylish. So carrying on with the Juice Dredd story. Gorgeous artwork by Nick Percival. This will be such a fun little horror story. Basically, it's Juice Dredd fighting the bogeyman. And then Intestine Arts carries on. Fantastic, gorgeous artwork, but like I said, for some reason, I think this threw me out of enjoying it. This story, this bit, I have not got a clue which way to read it. I think you can read it any way you want, but I switched off. It was too much hard work. I felt like doing homework just to get a story. And then they do these things I've just often called thrillers, which is with a 3, and then Rillers, Fargs Thrillers, and just 3-part stories. And I'm very honest, I'm a huge 2000 AD fan. I like the ambassador for 2000 AD, but sometimes they do lots of hits and then they do a miss. For me, this 3-part story was a miss. It's got some nice giant robots, but the writing was very muddled. I had trouble, even though it's only a 3-parter, I had trouble working out really what was going on, and the artwork was good in places but patchy in other spots. It's by written by David Bailey, art by Nick Brockenshire. I've heard of David Bailey before, the writer, but not the artist. Brink carries on to just stun with great art, great pace of storytelling, a really good mystery. She's such a complete character. The main investigator, whose name slips my mind at the moment. I think it's Curtis. But yes, one of my favourite strips. And Proteus Vex carries on. Again, enjoying it, but I do struggle with it sometimes because it's very out there, but it's gorgeous. I think this is when I wish I did do drugs because it might make the reading experience make more sense for me. This is the closest thing we have for 2008 to have like a heavy metal kind of strip, very European in flavour, that one. And then we have Prog 2384, another Nick Percival cover, another great cover. So that story continues. Ken Nyman, Nick Percival. The art in this is so good. It will look good when it gets collected. Just show you that page from it as well. That face. And then Intestine Arts again. Like I said, fantastic, gorgeous artwork by the artist of Petrolhead. But it's just not clicking at all with me. It'll be over soon. So that's what I like about 2000 AD. The strips don't outstay the welcome. So if you don't like one, you think, it'll be over soon. There'll be another one coming along that I'll enjoy. Same with the Thrillers one. So at the moment for me, 2000 ADs, I'm getting like 3/5 of enjoyment out of it at the moment. Which ain't bad because previous month, all the strips were hitting home for me. I was enjoying all of them. So I'm not going to moan. But the art's improved on that Thrillers one. And then Brink again. Show you that page. I just love the use of colour in this strip. It's very clever. And Proches Vex. I'm not saying the crates again because it's the same ones from what I just mentioned a few minutes ago. So we now move on. The reason I'm just flying through these because there's a kind of like a soft relaunched next issue after this one. They do this every 4 or 5 months. That cover's pretty wild. I think that's by PJ Holden. Oh, okay. I think that's ties in with the Intestine Arts one. Yeah. Carry on with that Judge Dredd story. Extremely satisfying story. That the artwork is just perfect for if you want a good horror story in 2000 AD. Nick Percival's one of the artists that you go for. And then you have Intestine Arts. Like I said, gorgeous artwork. But
good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, a little surprise guest there. Thank you, Alexa. So yeah, beautiful artwork, but it's just not doing anything for me. And then the conclusion of the Thrillers one. Artwork's picked up, ish. Nice use of Ultraman and Transformer kind of characters. But it's finished now, so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't outstay its welcome, so I'll enjoy the next issue more, hopefully. And then Brink. I've read these strips. The next issue I'm going to show I've not read yet, so. And then, of course, Proches Vex with beautiful Jake Lynch artwork. Very trippy writing by Kate W. So, this one, it's a chunkier issue, 48-page issue, this one. Nice John McCrae Rogue Trooper cover there. So it's this is like just to kind of get people in. I don't get why they've done it this time though, because they've not stopped Soldier Strips. I've not read this one yet, so the Judge Dredd story continues. Very beautiful. And then Intestine Arts continues. And then there's a one-shot called The Lord Provides by writer Gemma Sheldrake, never heard of her. Arts by Petite Crime, never heard of them either. Don't know what the story's like. Artwork, for me, it can be better. but it could be a great story. I've just not read it yet. But I just think like it's a pointless inclusion. I don't know why they've done this, to be honest. So it looks like kind of like a fantasy mixed with a western, that one. And then we have my old favourite, Brink. And then back for a strip with gorgeous artwork by Dan Cornwell, written by Jeffrey D. Wessel. Not familiar with the writer, but Dan Cornwell is a really nice artist. He did a strip in Judge Dredd recently about a robotic investigator. Took over from Collister Square because Collister Square obviously sadly passed away, but I've forgotten the name of it for the time being. But yeah, Road Trip is back, so I'm very happy with that. Love the artwork in this. Can't wait to read this. But I'm reading Booster Gold at the moment, which I'm going to give a review of because I'm really enjoying it. I'll share my thoughts with that. So that could be a next video very soon. So yeah, and after this one's finished, there's going to be a new Garth Ennis road trip coming soon. So that should be good, with art by Patrick Goddard, so the same team. Then there's a Future Shock. Artwork in this I find very jarring as well, but I don't know if it's intentional because I've not read it yet. This is by Laura Bailey, not from Chris Carroll, just this is a writer just with the same name, and Stuart K. Moore, whose name rings a bell, but don't know. And then finally we have Proteus Specs. This has been quite a long story, 12 parts so far. And the artwork just gets better and better. It's just a good, weird, way out space opera. So that's the current issue for 2000 AD. And there's been a Judge Dredd magazine, issue 468, gorgeous cover. Dreadnoughts has come back. So we'll start with the always get a good value for money, nice chunky, over 120 pages. So Judge Dredd, body shots by Ian Edgerton, on artwork by Disraeli. Disraeli is one of my favourite 2000 AD artists, just a really nice, unique style to his art. Not read this yet. I've had so much to read, I've just not got around to reading it. I do let my Judge Dredd magazines sit for a few months and then read a chunk of them together. Then there's a really cool article looking at people who've worked on Judge Dredd in 2000 AD and asking where they are now. Always an interesting article. And then there's one about PM Guerra, who did the really nice Judge Dredd strip recently, who did Scouts. Good in-depth interview with him. And then DeMarco. This is a good PI story by Laura Bailey, same writer as that other strip, and Rob Richardson on artwork. And then we have Armitage, Brit Sits, police sci-fi action here. Bit like it's like Rebus in the future kind of thing, but I like it. It's good writing. Nice to see written by Liam Johnson. Nice to see Warren Pleece back in 2000 AD. A very satisfying artist. And an article on one of the newer artists on 2000 AD, Laura Helsby. Good interview, read that, checked out her Instagram after that. And then a look at Robert Archie, because he's got a book coming out. I used to love Robert Archie as a kid. They had his strips in a reprint magazine and they were all coloured. So they give you a sneak preview of what that strip's like. Good old 60s British comics. British comics are always a bit more fun because they never just relied on superheroes. They were much more let's see what we can do. You know, it doesn't have to be people in tights fighting each other. Then Hookjaw concludes in this issue. This is by Simon Spurrier, Connor Boyle. So basically like Jaws times 10. And then, don't want to show you too much because it'll give away the ending. We have Judge Dredd Toxic Part 1 by Paul Jenkins. And art by Marco Castillo. This, I think, was what appeared in IDW a while ago, because Judge Dredd licensed, 2000 AD licensed a few 2000 AD characters to IDW to do their own version for a bit. And then moving on from that, we've got Harrower Squad. This is a fun strip by David Bailey, Steve Yoel. Steve Yoel's artwork's changed so much from his days on Zenith and later stuff. What he did for the Invisibles and all that is still good, but I don't know. I'm still adjusting to it, but it's a good strip. It's about this Scottish team of judges. And then got the Return of Dreadnoughts. This is beautiful. It's by Mike Carroll writing, John Higgins, the colourist from Watchmen, doing amazing artwork. This is tough as nails. It's set just before the judges became judges. This is like the inception of what became the current Judge Dredd universe. So it's like just linking between our present, and it's like the middle ground between now and then. That artwork though is just amazing. There is a collection of the first storyline, and I do recommend you hunt it out. It really is good. It's well worth a read. And then there's an advert for next time. Nice picture of Judge Dredd. So that's it. So the next one. 1 second. The next one will be hopefully in 4 weeks. I hope I remember to do it this time. So I'll be looking at an issue of Judge Dredd and 4 2000 AD progs. Okay, so that's it. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.